guess we could put on some music in the background. Actually, I don't know if I could get copyright shit for that. Let's do it. I got an entire playlist for this. Oh god, I have a feeling some copyright's gonna go on. I'll just play it quietly. Oh, no, not that song. Alright. Alright. Let's start. So I've basically been working on a open world survival game. And I need to make a... Basically, I'm trying to make it as not open source, but modular as possible, and I'm trying to make it so that other people, if they wanted to, could add their own resources or add-ons to the game. And in order for me to do that, to save space and optimize performance, I'm going to have to make an input module so that it's utilizing input throughout other scripts and stuff and putting it into one area, rather than having every single other script rather than having them all have their own input script or whatever. But that's what I'm basically working on. So this might be a slow live stream, which is fine. It's the only way you can get stuff done sometimes. Just take your time with it. So what we're saying here is, if this function basically is making it so that if when the user puts input into the keyboard or anywhere, then you tie a function with it, and if the input type is equal to that, then it will run the function. For example, if I say like input began, if the key is equal to, if the input is equal to a keyboard press of A. Oh. Shit.
Oh.
Hey, I'm in the middle of a live stream. I'll be back later. So basically, if the input type is basically equal to a keyboard press, let's say like A, then it'll call the function you tie with it and do whatever. So that's basically what I'm trying to work on. And we have listeners for it, and it's indexing the input type, or assigning the input type value to the table. And then, okay, so we could say if there's already a listener for this, then we're gonna insert a value into that. We're going to do table.insert input listeners. We're going to insert a value into the user input type, and it's going to be tied with the function. Alrighty. God, the amount of copyright strikes I could get for this. Whatever. Table insert input. So that looks good. And then if there's no table, if it's the first time assigning the input type to the table, then we're gonna say input began listeners. I think I'm gonna just shorten this up. Began listeners. Input.began listeners. User input type equals a table with only one function. There's probably an easier way to do this. I'm probably overcomplicating it, but I mean it's okay. And for all of these, for input changed, input ended, they're pretty much all going to be the same. I'm just hoping this works how I want it to. That'd be really nice. I'll make the text bigger if you guys can't really see as well. I mean, no one's watching anyway, but Okay, we got that. Now if the actual input service, if there's input began, then what we want to do is check the listener table. So we're gonna say for index, well actually, if input dot begin listeners begin was input object dot user input type, then so if there are listeners, then we're gonna say for a equals 1 through, or for, no, sorry, not a, for index, I guess, function, or just func, in pairs, user, no, input dot begin listeners, or no, in pairs. Yeah, input dot begin listeners. I spelled this wrong. Input dot begin listeners do. We're gonna run the function. Except it's not there's a table within a table. So we actually have to say input object dot user input type. So what this should do is if we have a listener within here, so here's our listener, blah, or no, it's gonna look more like this. We have it indexed, the input type equals the function. That's what it's gonna look like. If there is an input type, well, rather a table of functions, but if that input type is already in the began listeners, then it'll go through every function tied with it and run it. So I actually have a whole bunch of other things going on. So, shoot, this is going to cause a lot of conflict because I completely changed the input module and I had other scripts using the one before. I better do that real quick. I better fix that. Okay, well that doesn't have input. Close that. Input dot. Oh dang, yeah, this is gonna cause a lot of conflict. I'm going to. I don't even have a module set for this one yet. Well, we do this in here for now. It won't be activated at all. Let's grab the input module. So you can is local input equals require script dot input, and it's not gonna do anything because we haven't done. Well, it's gonna print int mod because that's the at the moment. So we don't have any. Actually, it's equal.